if the rich get less rich, surely that's being redistributed to the poor, isn't it? Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Why not? Why not?
Because there are a lot of factors, like it could be that they're just, let's say they're not for education.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're going to the poor.
No, but surely if it's going to a universal health system and education system as existed, that would be spent. Okay, it's not money which goes into the pocket of the poor, but it's money which benefits the poor. So is that not true that you're redistributing wealth from the rich to the poor? If you, yeah.
Is it not a situation where you're not redistributing anything? You're just giving the rich less opportunity.
Okay. And what happens if they have more opportunity?
Well, I think the case that she's making is that like one rich person according to one person on average than the poor person. So like if the rich get richer, the sum total of the benefit to the economy is
okay, right.
creating out this disparity growing and increasing.
Did you want to add something?
And you can create more jobs.
Okay, so the implicit, there has to be some mechanism, right, to explain, and she hasn't explained it, to explain why the rich getting richer would pull the poor up rather than pulling the poor down, and why the rich getting poorer rather than pulling the poor up might pull the poor down even further. That's what she's saying. And the suggestion is, when people are allowed to earn more money, another thing in the 1970s was that some people were charged up to 80 or even at one stage 90% income tax on their income. Now, why could that lead to a situation in which even the less well-off in society don't benefit? You know, the suggestion has been, if people have that incentive to earn a lot of money, then they are, you know, if they're entrepreneurial, that they're creating jobs, you know, creating wealth which wouldn't have been there in the first place. And so, again, the overall size of the GMP is then going to go up. Even if it's distributed somewhat unequally, it might be to the advantage of the less well-off compared to a smaller pie distributed more equally. So that's what she was saying, and this is of course her conjecture. I'm not saying this is necessarily true. That's why she was saying at the end that the people who worried about equality, all they looked at is the gap between the rich and poor. They didn't mind whether the absolute level of earning was right down here. So they prefer, you know, an equal distribution, a more equal distribution, which is right down at the lower level, to a distribution which is up here, but where there's a greater gap. And that is something which really preoccupies our main philosopher for this week, who is John Rawls. What should be the consequences for our thinking about justice, of the fact that how we distribute goods changes how many goods there are overall to distribute? So that's what we'll start on tomorrow.